Lesotho is to host the 10th Southern African Development Community Multi-Stakeholder Dialogue from September the 5th to the 7th in Maseru. According to the SADC Secretariat, the dialogue will be held with the technical support of the Global Water Partnership Southern Africa. The theme for the dialogue is bolstering regional productive capacities for water, energy, food security and ecosystem reliance to achieve inclusive and sustainable industrial transformation. SADC Secretariat said that the forum provides practitioners from the water and related sectors to discuss pertinent issues on deepening regional integration and poverty reduction in the region. The outcomes of the three-day dialogue will be presented to the SADC Council of Ministers responsible for food, water and energy security. Well, for a preview, we're now joined by Lesotho's Director of Water Affairs, Motoho Maseatile. Thank you so much indeed for joining us and welcome to the program.
A pleasure. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit more about this multi-stakeholder forum. What is it and what is it aimed to do?
Thank you very much. The SADC Multi-Stakeholder Dialogue is a dialogue, as it says, which is held every 2 years by the SADC member states in order to address challenges that are facing the region at the time of that particular dialogue. So in this case, for the 10th SADC Multi-Stakeholder Dialogue, the aim is to bring together SADC member states, particularly in the sectors of water, energy, and food security, together with various stakeholders in these three sectors that are operating within the region, that range from river basin organizations and authorities, international cooperating partners, SADC implementing agencies, youth representatives, women groups, civil society, the private sector, utilities from the three sectors.
All right, let's talk
with
a little
an
bit.
Aim.
Yeah.
With the aim of making use of the approach that is called water, energy, food nexus, that brings together these three sectors to do away with individualized sector approaches, but to work together to optimize resources and maximize benefits in order to solve challenges that face member states individually and or collectively and the region at large, particularly in light of the recovery efforts from COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you.
All right, let's look at water. That's an area of expertise for you and one that is a concern for us, and we rely a lot on Lesotho for some of our water needs. What are the burning issues around water security?
Thank you very much. The burning issues around water is that the availability of water in the region varies. There are areas with relative abundance of water. There are some other areas which are relatively dry. If we take for example, if we may compare the Kingdom of Lesotho with, say, Namibia, which is largely a desert, the there's quite a lot of disparity there. But even in the case of Lesotho per se, where water is abundant relatively, the water may not be where it is needed. So even if the quantities are there, it is still a challenge to transfer water from where it is available to where it is needed.
All right. You talked about this nexus of water, energy, and food. Take us from water to the other two and how these three can work together and should be working together.
Thank you very much. The three sectors are interlinked. For example, you need water to produce food or irrigation, for example. But even when we have harvested the food, in order to make those crops into food products, you still need water. But now, even if the water is available, you need energy to pump the water to higher areas so that it can reach the desired destinations. That is the link.
Okay.
Another example would be that, for example, in the case of Lesotho, most of our electricity is generated from hydropower through the Lesotho Highlands water project. So as we transfer water to the Republic of South Africa for various uses in the Republic, we are generating hydropower. So that is the linkage. So that means if the energy sector were to focus on the energy generation without any consideration whatsoever to the water sector, then the cost of generating that power would be relatively high compared to if the whole initiative is approached from a water and energy perspective. In a similar manner, the benefits that we stand to gain as we approach collaboratively from the two sectors are maximized.
There's always a danger with dialogues of it just ending up being a talk shop. Could there be some genuine outcomes and policy interventions even coming out of this?
Thank you very much. The question is very critical. As a member of the SADC, in particular Lesotho, we have been involved in the multi-stakeholder dialogues for quite a number of years now. And a large number of our programs and initiatives that we are developing and that we have developed and that we are implementing have been by far informed by what has come out of some of the previous dialogues. A good example is the IRRM approach. The previous Nexus early after the 2000, they were focusing on the IRRM approach. And for us as Lesotho, we have built on that and come up with a huge, massive program of the integrated catchment management that takes care of the cow, that is the mountains of Lesotho and Lesotho at large, that the member states that we are sharing the Orange Sinku River with are benefiting from, to take care of the sources. So we really cherish these dialogues because they inform us of how our colleagues in other member states approach challenges facing them, particularly in the water sector and lately in the food and energy security sector. It is also a good platform for all of us as a region to learn on how other regions solve their problems. Moreover, since most of the large, I would say, infrastructure and otherwise projects require a lot of resources which are not always available within member states, the dialogue presents an opportunity for potential financiers to also interact with the member states, so that as a member state will be in a position to know where the potential financiers are looking at. That is trends in financing infrastructure projects in these sectors. So this goes a long way. The impact of this year's dialogue will be felt in years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Mr. Maseatile. Thank you so much indeed for joining us, and we wish you the best with this dialogue for the benefit of us, the citizens in the region. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. We really look forward to the dialogue.
Thank you
for having me.
All right, that's Lesotho's Director of Water Affairs, Motoho Maseatile, speaking to us there ahead of the 10th SADC Multi-Stakeholder Dialogue, all about the nexus between water, energy and food security. Let's hope they come up with some big solutions.